Hello, people. I haven't made a video in a while um, because of certain circumstances, which I won't go into right now. But I know everyone saw that fight Saturday, or by now you know of it. Deontay Wilder's second fight with Luis Ortiz. I must say, when I first saw Deontay in there, people say he's athletic, but he looked kind of uncoordinated to me, But being a tall guy, I understand. I'm 6'5", he's 6'7". And what's coordination for us is not coordination for a smaller guy. The way he fought Ortiz with his left extending out from his body, keeping him at bay instead of popping the jab, is something I never did. I saw Larry Holmes do it a few times when he was measuring the guy. I guess Wilder was constantly measuring because Ortiz is a Southie. And when you jab at a Southie, Ortiz is good at moving his head and coming and countering with that left. So it would have been very dangerous for Wilder to throw that jab. I've had I had a fight and a sparring session with a Southie. Each time I was throwing a jab and I was wondering why their jab was getting to me first and my jab wasn't effective. And I realized this motherfucker's a southpaw. And then in the fight I had, I switched it up and I threw the right like a jab and popped him out through the left like a right hand. And when I did that, I staggered him and he held on to me. And I knew I had him. The bell rang and I didn't have time to finish him, but I won. In the sparring session with a Southie, the guy busted my nose. And no one told me he was a Southie, and I went and said, I realized this motherfucker's a southpaw. And then with that, I went back out there in the next week because we sparred then. We sparred like it was a fight, trying to kill each other. And I got him in the corner and just let him have it, let it rip. Right, left, right, left. And his trainer stopped us. With that said, now I've hit guys in sparring and in fights where I got them square and they hit like with Wilder, the way Wilder hit Luis Ortiz, and his head went back and the sweat just sprayed everywhere. I've hit guys like that, and I've seen guys hit like that. That's normally a knockout punch or just a good shot. Some guys can take a good shot, but I've never seen it like that with Wilder. I mean, like it was with Wilder and Ortiz. I've never, ever seen it like that. With that little short shot. I didn't think Wilder had a short shot. It's like a piston and an engine. Pop, boom. Or like a door closing all of a sudden. So it was so violent, so brutal. I've seen a guy get hit with a bat and his head recoiled like that. That man definitely has some serious power. And I'm going to say, the way he used the left hook, even though he was slapping with it, his left hook brought Ortiz in position for that right hand. And when Wilder saw it, he took it. And Ortiz, being an experienced fighter, Cuban, about 300 fight amateur career, 30-something fight professional career, he started smiling after a while because he thought he had Deontay Wilder. He thought he had dialed him down, dialed his number down. And he thought he was going to block that right hand. He thought he had his hand up the block. He said, oh, he's going to throw it right hand. But Deontay Wilder snuck it in the middle. I don't know how he did it. Caught him in his forehead and took him out. That's the same way that George Foreman took out Michael Moore. He caught him with a hook. Left hook to get him in position for that right hand. Then he shot that right hand like a piston to the forehead. Down went Moore. The same thing happened to Luis Ortiz. The same thing. Left hooks to get him in position. Then bam, the right hand, piston-like, to the forehead. The only other guy I've ever seen do that was Foreman. Foreman knew that anywhere he hit you in the forehead, if he hit you with authority with that right, you were going down. Deontay has knew the same thing. But I'm gonna tell you, Deontay Wilder. The title of this video is "Who Hits the Hardest? Who's the hardest punching heavyweight in history?" Everybody said Ernie Shavers. Ali said Ernie Shavers hit him harder than anybody ever did. Uh, uh, a lot of guys that fought Foreman and Shavers said that Shavers hit harder. But I say for George Foreman. I always said George Foreman was the hardest puncher in history. But now, I think I might have to go back on that. There's always a time when a new guy comes in as the hardest puncher and wipes all the old historical punchers out. And I think that guy is Deontay Wilder. I've never seen, ever seen something like that. The velocity, the sheer velocity and brute force of that punch. And the way Ortiz just collapsed, like, and you blow, when demolition guys take a house down, how it collapses. The house collapses in on itself. That's what Ortiz looked like. That was some of the most. That was the most brutal display of a short chopping right hand I've seen. And if look on Ortiz's face, he didn't know where the hell he was, what happened. His whole thing, his processing system was just cut off. Just that quick. He didn't know who he was, what was going on, what the hell is it. Then finally he got himself together and he got up before the 10 count, but he was finished. Any more application like he had just got might have sent him on his way. We might have been looking at the fourth murder, or the first death of a prize fighter this year. That Deontay Wilder, my God. My God. This guy's right hand's a fucking nuclear missile. I'm telling you, he can wipe anything out. And his delivery of it and the way he sets you up for it. He looks like he's bungling. You know what? Who he reminds me of? Rocky Marciano. In the opposite way. Rocky Marciano was a white guy. Deontay was a black guy. Rocky Marciano was about 5'10", one of the shortest heavyweight champions ever. And Deontay Wilder is 6'7", one of the tallest heavyweight champions ever. Rocky Marciano had the short, compact power, short arms, compact. Deontay Wilder has long, linear power. Rocky Marciano, a lot of times you see him fight, he looked amateurish at first, like an amateur hour. But then when he delivered that shot, it was the most prettiest, beautiful, perfect shot that you want to see. And brutal shot that you want to see. Deontay Wilder the same. I'm not going to lie and I'm not going to front. He looks very amateurish a lot of times. Until he delivers that right hand. And then you realize he may have one of the most educated right hands in the history of boxing. The same with Marciano. And when it hits you, when it connects right, buddy, it's lights out. Rocky Marciano, as I said, he had a lot of problems. He looked amateurish. He started late. You see him fighting, you saying, well, this guy don't even belong in there with as a child with Jersey Joe Walcott, with none of them guys. When you see Deontay Wilder, you say, well, this guy don't even belong in there with Tyson Fury. He don't belong in there with Luis Ortiz. Then it's Whammo. Tyson Fury is one of the greatest boxers I've seen. I'm being serious. A 6'9" guy who can move around like that and who has been seen standing in a corner and letting a guy fire off at him, and his head movement ducks and dodges under every shot. That's unusual, folks. The great Ali did it. I haven't seen anyone else do that. You know? That's really unusual. So I don't know. I mean, and then Luis Ortiz, you see he's a great boxer. You say, well, Deontay Wilder don't belong in the ring with Luis Ortiz. And then wham, Luis Ortiz. Oh, you stupid ass cat. My cat escaped. And I got his food. He came in the house and I started walking to close the door and he ran out again. What an idiot. Anyway, it's my daughter's cat. He's an idiot. But I love animals though. Don't get me wrong. I really love animals. I'm an animal. You're an animal. If you don't love animals, you don't love yourself. Animal simply means animated. It means you're not a fucking plant or a rock. That's all. But anyway, anything organic is either inanimate or animate. A plant is animate. Believe it or not, it grows. It has organic life in it. But I'm going to tell you, I'm not trying to... I think planets are animate too because they move. People say, well, they only move around its own gravity and the gravity of the nearest star or the largest object. Well, we have gravity too. What I mean by that, everybody has a routine that they do. Everybody gravitates around like other people, places, things. That's a gravity, so to speak. But anyway, getting back to what I was talking about. If you box, you gravitate towards a certain gym. You're there, you have a routine. Certain things you like, certain movies. Maybe if you like going to movies, you gravitate towards that. Certain places you like, certain bars you like, certain women you like. You gravitate around that. But, I was talking about, I took another look at Wilder. Deontay Wilder just might be the hardest puncher well, I'll put it like this. The hardest puncher, no one knows because I wasn't punched by Foreman, I wasn't punched by Wilder. Let's say the best one-hitter quitter, the best one punch. He's One Punch Man. That cartoon One Punch Man, Deontay One Punch Man, one-hitter quitter Wilder. He has the best one-hitter quitter in the history of the sport. I'm going to say that. He has perhaps the best finishing right hand in the history of the sport. I've never seen a right hand with that kind of velocity on it. Even the great Joe Louis. The great Joe Louis is another one who is more reminiscent of Deontay Wilder power. People talk about Mike Tyson and George Foreman. Mike Tyson had quick, precise. Mike Tyson was like a very quick Marciano. He had that kind of compact, quick power. Deontay Wilder has a very quick right hand. Well, I'll put it like this. Mike Tyson was fast. Deontay Wilder is quick. And that right hand is more reminiscent of Joe Louis's right hand. Joe Louis had a right hand like that. He could hit you with a short shot and put your ass out. Deontay Wilder is that on steroids with that right hand. I'd say Deontay Wilder probably has the best finishing right hand in the history of boxing. And the best KO artist in the history of boxing. Bar none. Even Julian Jackson, George Foreman, Sonny Liston, Ron Lau, Ernie Shavers. Nothing on this Deontay Wilder guy. Nothing. And anything he hits soundly is going to sleep. Now, I think certain guys he will have to put more than one punch on, like Luis Ortiz. I mean, like Andy Ruiz. I think he's going to have to fight him. That's going to be a hell of a fucking fight. Andy Ruiz, I saw him alone. He's the type of guy, He can take all kind of god awful punishment. And Anthony Joshua put him down, and then when he got up, Anthony Joshua was still hitting him with clean shots. And I seen Andy fight a guy 3 years ago in China, a black guy with a whole bunch of hair, putting shots on him. And Anthony Ruiz just walked through it looking at him like that's all you got, and then KO'd him with a left hook. I seen a guy named, what's this, Tor Hamer or something like that. He was lighting Andy up, lighting him up. And Andy just took it and went like it was nothing. And then Andy hit him with some hell of I think it was right hands and hooks. And the guy retired in his corner. Andy Ruiz is a very serious man, and so is Deontay Wilder. If Wilder gets past Fury, which I think he will, and if Ruiz gets past Joshua, which I have a video on here saying that it was no given that Joshua was going to beat Ruiz, and that I hadn't seen Andy Ruiz in a long time. I wonder where he went, what happened to him. I thought he could possibly be a champion, but I thought that AJ would defeat him because of his punching power, and Ruiz just takes punches coming in. AJ has a lot of good punching power, okay? But Ruiz took that power, but Ruiz can't take that power from Wilder. No. He might survive a first knockdown, a second knockdown, maybe. But if Wilder really works on his combos, the right hand, left hook, uppercut, whatever. The way Andy has to fight, being a shorter man, as they say he's 6'2". Is there something to say a man 6'2" is shorter now because of all these fucking 6'7", 6'8" guys? If Ruiz was back like 30 years ago, 40 years ago, he'd be considered kind of a big guy. I'm 6'5" myself, and some of these fucking guys, man, 6'9", Tyson Fury. But Ruiz has to come in. He has to come to Wilder. He cannot. He does not have the tools to fight him any other way. He does not have the tools to fight him. He's supposed to be 6'2", but he looks more like he's about 6 feet, 6'1" to me. He's going to have to come to Wilder, and he's going to have to fight like he always fights, by taking shots because he has a fucking cast iron chin, and then wearing you down with big shots that he throws, big ass bones of his, and big ass fucking meat hook for paws, for hands, like bear claws, big ass hands, big bone motherfucker. He's just big. I mean, Andy Ruiz is big, big bone. You can see it even past the fat, so-called, the extra weight. He's a big bone man. And of course, yeah, he can catch Wilder and knock him out now. Wilder has a damn good chin, and I don't think Ruiz is going to knock him out one shot. He's going to have to put a lot of shots on him. But while he's putting it on him, Wilder's going to be putting it back. And I don't think Ruiz can stand up to that. I don't think that'll be a fight that won't go long. Trust me, folks. I think he might even get Wilder down. But Wilder is tough. He has heart. He has a chin. He's proven he has a chin from Ruiz. And even though Tyson Fury has powder puffs for punches, he did, I mean, any man that's 250 pounds will hit you as many times as Fury hit Wilder, and he maybe shook him once or twice, but that's it. And Wilder just took it like it was nothing, and then put him on his back twice. Also, Brazil caught Wilder with a punch or two before he finally went out in the first round, and Wilder took it like he knocked Wilder back, but that was it. Wilder took that like a champ, and Brazil can punch, and he can take a punch. He may not be a great fighter, or maybe a mediocre. Well, today's world, he's a good heavyweight because he has a good chin and a good power. But his chin could not stand up to Wilder's punch. And I don't think Ruiz's chin can stand up to constant bombardment from Wilder. But I think that's going to be a hell of a well of a fight, man. A well of a fight when they meet. If Ruiz gets past Joshua again. If that happens, I want to say that I'm looking forward to Wilder being the undisputed. Now I don't know. Tyson Fury could beat Wilder, and then if Wilder gets past Fury, Ruiz could beat him. I'll never count Ruiz out. But more than likely, Ruiz will fall on his sword, on his shield, and get knocked out. He's always said he would die first in the ring. And these are the kind of guys that harken back to the Joe Lewises, to the Muhammad Ali's, to the George Foremans, to Lennox Lewis's, Mike Tyson's, Evander Holyfield. These were men, and they were tough men, and they would fight, and they would die willing to die in that ring, And that's one reason why Andy Ruiz and Deontay Wilder are the toughest motherfuckers in the heavyweight division today. And Tyson Fury was willing to die in there too, I think. Even though he got spooked when Wilder knocked him out, I still think he'll get back in there. Because though Tyson Fury has mental illness, he's cut from that rug. These are some men who have heart. The men who will continue until they can't continue anymore. And that's what makes them great heavyweights today. But I think in the end that Deontay Wilder will rise to the top because that fucking god-awful right hand, man. God-awful. Okay, folks. Please subscribe and put in the comments below what you think about what I said. Is Deontay Wilder the hardest right-hand knockout artist in history? And who will ultimately become undisputed heavyweight champion of the world? Can Andy Ruiz defeat Deontay Wilder? Or will Deontay Wilder knock him, how they say it in England, spark the fuck out? Thank you. Have a good day. Oh, and please press the like button. Peace.